Good afternoon. Welcome to News Hour live on GBC News and on GTV. We're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Samuel Akwoti. Now the news in detail. The Ghana Health Service has announced a review of the Ghana's COVID-19 isolation procedures for international arrivals at the Kotoka International Airport. The review includes strict monitoring of persons deemed eligible and cleared to isolate at their homes after testing positive at the airport. The Ghana Health Service in a statement said the review comes to add to the previous protocols that have existed since September 2020. Officials at the Ghana Health Service said the review has become necessary following a trend of positive cases of COVID-19 being among vaccinated and asymptomatic persons. The measures are introduction of home isolation for eligible persons who, following assessment by the Port Health Unit of the Ghana Health Service, are found to be eligible, will be allowed to undergo isolation in their homes. They will, however, be subject to strict monitoring to ensure compliance to the protocols. The statement said all such passengers will be briefed on the self-isolation protocols. Earlier this month, it said all persons flying in and out of the country are to be fully vaccinated and to strictly follow stipulated guidelines for both self-preservation and the protection of the larger society. It also warned that airlines which bring in passengers to the Kotoka International Airport who are not fully vaccinated shall be surcharged $3,500 per passenger, and airlines which board passengers without PCR test results or transport and disembark passengers with positive PCR test results into Accra will also be fined $3,500 per passenger. Management of the Whole Teaching Hospital in the Volta region has appealed to philanthropists and benevolent organizations to support its fundraising to equip its cardiothoracic center. The acting chief executive of the hospital, Dr. John Tampori, who made the appeal, is hopeful that an ultra-modern cardiothoracic center will enable the facility to provide standard cardiovascular treatment to patients in its catchment area.
The Whole Teaching Hospital is the second health facility in the country to have established a cardiothoracic center apart from the Kolibu Teaching Hospital in Accra. It also serves as a resource center for students of the University of Health and Allied Sciences. The center, however, delivers medical treatment for cardiovascular diseases but lacks the requisite equipment to treat severe cases such as surgical operations on the heart. The acting chief executive officer of the Whole Teaching Hospital, Dr. John Tampori, is optimistic that when completed, the proposed ultra-modern center will bring relief to patients with cardiovascular diseases in the Volta, Oti and Eastern regions, as well as those from the neighboring Togo.
We are still on. All your contributions are still encouraged, and we are hoping that with your support we'll be able to provide the necessary equipment for our staff to be able to save lives.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Health and Allied Sciences, Professor John Owusu-Japon, commended staff of the facility for their commitment towards quality healthcare delivery in its catchment area. He, however, urged them to work hard to enhance service delivery in subsequent years.
There is still a lot of room for improvement. So on behalf of the board, I wish to encourage you to do your best to correct the things that people complained about in the past and ensure that we are able to deliver a service that everybody will be happy with.
The Home Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Divine Bosson, pledged the support of the Municipal Assembly in any move geared towards the development of the hospital. Staff of the hospital also held a Thanksgiving service and festival of 9 lessons and carols. They were treated with music and hymns by the hospital's choir, 66 Artillery Regimental Band, among other choir groups. The 9 lessons, which were read by staff and guests, encouraged staff especially to be steadfast regardless of challenges they face in the performance of their duties.
Now, Ghanaians have joined the rest of the world to mark Boxing Day, which falls on December 26th of every year as part of the Yuletide amid the global pandemic of COVID-19. Many churches are holding Christmas services to mark the day. The day, often observed as a holiday, provides an opportunity for people to organize social events such as parties, family reunions, and sporting events.
The euphoria that characterizes Sundays during Christmas celebrations was absent in many churches as Christians all over the world celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Though most churches in the municipality were filled to capacity, congregants in many churches GBC News visited were not allowed to express joy through dancing. This was to serve as a preventive measure against the spread of COVID-19. Nevertheless, the congregants were inspired to show love and compassion towards their neighbors by feasting with each other at the Victory Chapel of the Global Evangelical Church at Hofiare. The parish pastor, Reverend Charles Adika, encouraged Christians to be steadfast in spite of the challenges that the coronavirus pandemic has unleashed on mankind. He also urged them to exhibit the spirit of kindness and sharing in their communities to symbolize the character of Jesus Christ.
In this season, let us learn to appreciate one another. Let us learn to tolerate one another, and let us learn to love one another. Even though things have become difficult because of Corona, we just want to use this opportunity to tell everybody that all hope is not lost. Don't give up. Take care of yourself and have hope. We believe that very soon God will give us a solution to the virus and it will be eradicated completely.
The church held a feast for all its members to commemorate the Boxing Day.
As most activities are being held in churches during the festive season, it is expected that COVID-19 preventative measures will be put in place to avert the possible spread of COVID-19. Some church leaders in the country have therefore urged Ghanaians to stay strong and safe in these challenging times, hence adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols amid the outbreak of the third wave of COVID-19. A report by Ofuru Adako.
In a bid to prevent a fourth wave of COVID-19 in Ghana, especially during this festive season, the government declared December as a month of vaccination. However, adhering to the safety protocols in the Yuletide is key. Irrespective of one's vaccination status, the citizenry, including Christians, have been admonished to know that whatever it takes to stay alive is worthwhile in this peak season, while giving thanks to God for divine protection.
The huge darkness called COVID not only affected Ghana, but the whole world. And now our life is even more uncertain with the Omicron. But I want to say that Jesus is the Savior. So when we fix our eyes on Jesus, He says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Let's keep on trusting Him.
Observe all the protocols. Go for the vaccine and still protect yourself. That's how you stay safe. Then God's protection will be effective. You don't tempt God by breaking the protocols in the name of faith. God is a responsible God.
The pandemic will give way. Businesses will revamp. Life will come to normalcy. Government will perform. Unity will be in parliament. Unity will be in amongst families and the church. Interfaith believers, Muslims and Christians alike, will build this nation together, and we shall move our nation together.
As part of the COVID-19 safety guidelines by the Ministry of Health, all churches are to ensure that sanitizers, soap and water are provided at worship centers, and social distancing should be sustained in seating arrangements. For GBC News, Oferiwa Dako reporting.
It is often said that children love to celebrate Christmas since they believe it is a time to get all the goodies that come with it. However, for children on the streets with no shelter and food to eat, it is a season they do not fantasize about. Rather, they wait and hope for the benevolence of Good Samaritans. A report again by Oferiwa Dako.
This is known as a season of giving and putting smiles on the faces of the deprived in the society. For most privileged children, it is one of the best days of their lives.
We just came here. We're going to KFC to go to buy some of them, some fries and some chicken. Then from there we'll go home and have fun.
The thoughts of merrymaking is off for children who live on the streets. These street children on festive occasions continue to beg on the streets with a glimpse of hope to get more than what they gather on normal days. Lady Luck smiled on these little ones when this man, who gave his name as Wofa, shared money to them.
I
While staying safe with the family this festive season, there is a call for an act of kindness.
Year 2022 is going to be a good year. Amen. So please remember the boy on the streets. Remember the girl on the street. Remember somebody in your neighborhood who hasn't eaten chicken for a long time. Please remember to bring a smile on somebody's face.
Pondering over ways to lend a helping hand to these forgotten children this festive season, then you can visit them with some goodies to brighten their darkest moments and put smiles on their faces. For GBC News, Oferiwa Dako reporting.
A large volume of rosewood has been discovered in the Volta Lake at Akosombo in the eastern region. The discovery by the Ketekrachi recovery team is the first time the species has been found in Ghana's waters away from the northern sector where the sweet-smelling wood is in abundance. The government is yet to make a decision on the new discovery.
Was made as the Ketekrachi recovery team continued with its work of removing hazardous substances on the Volta Lake, specifically tree stumps. These trees pose a threat and impede safe navigation on Ghana's inland waters, being one of the main causes of boat disasters on the Volta Lake. The Ghana Maritime Authority contracted the Ketekrachi recovery team to remove the trees, where a few months ago volumes of such trees removed were handed over to the host communities for use. Aside the rosewood, other species of wood were also found in the Volta Lake.
For us, we need to monetize every single piece of timber that we bring up. We've expended resources on bringing it out of the water. It's now on land. Our salvaging it has not adversely impacted the environment in any way. No living tree has been felled in order to produce this timber.
A Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in charge of forestry, Mr. Benito Owusu-Bio, led a delegation to inspect the wood and said the government will look at possible options for the harvested rosewood.
So far, I would say the ban has been enforced to the letter, and currently we don't see any rosewood trucks moving from north towards the south to our ports and harbors. We will still be looking at the situation and ensure that the ban is there, and even if we would have to lift it for some specific amount of it to be exported, then it will depend on circumstances like where they need to be salvaged.
Currently, there is a ban on the harvesting and export of rosewood in Ghana, as well as other parts of the world under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species.
The Upper Denchira East District Police Command says it has deployed personnel to communities in the district to ensure law and order this festive season. The Commander, DSP Edmond Jones Afutu, advised the public to be security conscious and look out for miscreants in their neighborhood. It was a town hall meeting organized by the Upper Dintra East Municipal Assembly to take stock of its performance during the year under review and present its budget for 2022. The Municipal Chief Executive for Upper Dintra East, Mr. Ebenezer Piafosin, urged residents to support the Assembly by cooperating with the Revenue Mobilization Team in order to raise funds to complete development projects in the municipality.
We are doing well. We are not doing poorly at all, but I want to improve upon our performance so that going forward, sanitation in Upper Dintra East will actually be enhanced.
The Member of Parliament for Upper Dintra East, Mr. Festus Kofi, was unhappy that some residents failed to honor their tax obligation. The District Police Commander for Upper Dintra East, DSP Edmond Jones Afutu, said the Ghana Police Service will ensure safety during and after the festivities.
Like church services, the whole household will say we are going to church. Then they will leave the house just like that. That means they are leaving it for the criminals to have a field day. At least all of them somebody should remain in the house to take care of the house in terms of security. Even it can happen that it's not thieves. It can happen that there is a fire outbreak within the house. If nobody is there, that means the whole house will lose everything.
The Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Mrs. Mary Hesse, says a key element that has stalled Africa's development is a lack of negotiation skills. She said this state of affairs has often led to the continent being sidelined in international crisis and its issues consigned to the back burner at a congregation of Nyansapo College in Accra. Mrs. Hesse indicated the need to equip diplomats and representatives with strong negotiation skills to rewrite the narrative.
Nyansapo College, an offspring institution of the internationally acclaimed Institute of Diplomatic Practice and Development Policies, I2DP, in Accra, was established specifically to enhance capacity building of African officials to accelerate Africa's march towards sustainable development and plausible integration into the global system. It provides specialized knowledge and sharpens the skills of African envoys and officials in both public and private sectors charged with the international relations of their respective establishments. This it has dutifully performed since its establishment 5 years ago. At its third congregation in Accra, Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Mrs. Mary Chinrihese, said, having served as an international civic servant for years, she realized that Africa is usually sidelined in global affairs because its representatives are ill-equipped during negotiations.
We are a massive population of the world. We are a massive landmass. And yet, we're not always given a place at the high table, not for any reason, but because we don't push and demonstrate that we have the skills which people need to make good decisions for the global environment, not only for countries.
In an interview with GBC News, Director of Nyansapo College, Professor Victor Essien, said the college is a unique brand because it is practical-oriented. He said the college will, from January 2022, start undergraduate programs tailored towards building the next generation of diplomats from that level.
The initial impetus was the short-term programs, training officials from the various ministries and departments. In addition to that, we got a lot of patronage and a lot of mileage from the involvement of the ECOWAS and also the UNDP, as well as the African Union.
Some of the graduates who spoke to GBC News expressed their delight about their training and how it will help them to enhance their performance.
You know, a lot of assignments and others traveling here and there wasn't that easy, but, you know, by the grace of God and with determination, that is why we have made it thus far.
11 persons graduated with masters in international relations and development.
The people of Banda in the Karachi Chumuru district of the Oti region have celebrated their annual Tekpang Jundai festival. The paramount chief of the traditional area, Nana Akwesi Omankuminti, made an appeal for a military base and a police station for the area to guard the peace and maintain order.
Tekpang Jundai is celebrated annually by the Banda in Chumurus. It is to honor the god Jundai, who is believed to have steered them out of battles against enemies during their migratory journeys from the eastern part of Ghana to their current location. The Banda in Chumurus are part of the larger Guam group, but located in both the Oti and northern regions. The festival is a gathering of sons and daughters of the area, both home and abroad, to catch up and simply have a good time. The festival is a period of stock taking and projections for the ensuing years, and also for contracting marriages, learning of culture, especially the Nchumru language. But that is not all. It is also a time to mend broken down family ties. The chief of the traditional area, Nana Akwesi Omankumunte, was not happy about the level of deprivation in the area, ranging from bad road network, lack of potable water, and the poor state of educational facilities. He called for the government's intervention. He called for unity among chiefs in the traditional area for development.
An immediate attention should be given to the bridge across the Nkabri stream at the community. Amen. The road from Banda through Bakamba to Kundi must also be seen as a matter of urgency. Amen.
The district chief executive for Karachi in Chumuru, Mr. Akwesi Nkrumah Ojile, added his voice to the call for peace in the area.
The Banda market has become a force to reckon with in terms of the Assembly's internal revenue generation. I am reliably informed that the Banda market and bride markets are the main weekly source of revenue for the Assembly. In this regard, steps will be taken to upgrade structures in Banda market, in addition to upgrading the Rory Park to befit its status and to make conditions friendly to the patrons of the market.
The Banda area in the Karachi Chumuru district of the Oti region is one of the leading producers of yam in the country.
The Hiawatha prison in the Wassa Amenfi East municipality of the Western region has received items worth about 15,000 cedis for its upkeep. The inmates were also given free medical screening and medication.
The items include toiletries, soap, biscuits, drinks, maize, rice, and used clothing. The inmates were also screened and given free medication. The officer in charge of the Hiwa Camp prisons, Chief Superintendent Daniel Donko, lauded the Dai Foundation for the gesture and asked for more support in the form of skills training. Residents of Famia Krom, a farming community within the municipality, also received some items and were medically screened. The chief of Dikoto Junction, Nana Jampo, on behalf of the community, was grateful to the foundation for the support. He appealed to other organizations and individuals to emulate the gesture. The founder and president of the foundation, Reverend Ignatius Dai Jr., said the organization's mission is to put smiles on the faces of the needy in society, especially during Christmas.
Now, if you missed some of the past week's major stories, here's an opportunity to catch up in pictures. GBC News and on GTV. We also stream live on Facebook and on YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and now to some business stories. Traders and drivers on the Bipong and into main roads in the eastern region are calling on the government to walk the talk by extending the year of road promise to their part of town. These traders and drivers say their businesses are badly hit and unable to break even due to the poor road network leading to their trading centers. Here's a report by Beatrice Senaju.
It's 5 a.m. and the market day at Ntomim. Traders are busily carting their goods to the market to make some good sales. This is where their woes begin. Traders and drivers alike have to endure the bad roads for hours depending on one's direction before arriving at Ntomim. With this uneven surface, vehicles often get stuck in the middle of nowhere and traders are therefore stranded. Is a busy corridor with hundreds traveling from the adjoining communities to Ntomim to sell. As a farming community, every foodstuff one can think of is brought to this market center. Banana, yam, plantain, and large volumes of cocoa are also sold here. Traders travel from Bipong, Jaikasa, Kwafo, Nketepa, Odotoko, Odotuntum, and surrounding towns to Ntomem to do business. According to them, less people are inclined to trade here due to the bad nature of the roads.
No vehicle comes here because of our roads. All our cocoa beans are spoiled. Our road needs to be fixed.
We were stuck last week because the road was blocked. The road has become accident prone and has to be fixed.
Only a few drivers ply the road to Ntomem. Traders often rely on Aboboya to transport the goods from the farm gate to sell. According to them, the Aboboya often tip over. Some of them tell their story.
I have been involved in accidents so often. The vehicle conveying our produce always gets stuck and our food items rot. We sometimes have to push the vehicle before getting to the market.
Anytime it rains, carting our goods to the market becomes difficult. This has deterred many from trading here.
Sometimes the market women will come to the market here. Because of the road, the traders will not be able to come. And sometimes you will find it even difficult to get somebody to even ask you, what are you selling? And in fact, because of this, the youth are normally not interested in entering into farming. After producing the items and you get no buyer, what are you going to do with it? You can't eat all what you are going to produce. So we are pleading to the government to come to our aid, mainly help us on the road.
Some drivers spoke to GBC News.
I was charged 200 Ghana cedis by people who helped in pushing my car back to the road when it was stuck. We need help.
Now, you work class by 2 minutes. Quaya Yadi and Yama a fast by 2 minutes. Quaning Nasa. It is a Aboboya crowd who see us will be.
Most traders are afraid to join the Aboboya, though it is the only means of transportation here. Government should come to our aid. We plead with government to come help us out.
The farmers, traders and drivers at Ntomem are unhappy and hope that help will come soon. They are also appealing for their roads to be constructed as soon as possible to enable their business to grow. Beatrice Senaju, GBC News, Ntomem.
With the hustle and bustle of everyday life, more women are looking for quick, easy and fashionable ways to stay beautiful. This is where the wig caps comes in due to its versatility, convenience, variety, handy, comfort and beauty enhancement are some reasons why a lot of women buy wig caps. They are a safe haven for today's woman because they can be worn in many styles and taken off at any time. GBC News was out and about to find out more about the craze for wig caps during Christmas, which may sell for as low as 70 cedis and as high as 3,000 cedis.
One thing most ladies cannot do without is the quest for the latest in wig caps. Be it long or short human hair or synthetic or fiber, they all help in adding up to their beauty. In this report, I will walk you through the different types of wig caps and prices, which are high in demand.
A wig is a hair or hair accessory made from human hair, animal hair or fiber. The word wig is short for periwig, which makes its easiest known appearance in the English language in William Shakespeare's The Two Gentlemen of Verona. Some wear wigs to disguise baldness or hair loss for a less intrusive and less expensive alternative to medical therapies or as an everyday fashion. With wigs virtually an obligatory garb for men with social rank, Wig makers gained considerable prestige. Such wigs were expensive to produce because they were made from natural human hair. There are two basic kinds of hair wigs: the traditional machine-stitched weft wig and the hand-tied lace wig. The machine-stitched wigs are still the most commonly worn wigs today. The hair is sewn on a stitch weft material and comes with adjusting straps to suit the different head sizes. These wigs are typically pre-styled and lack any kind of realistic expectations. Lace wigs are quickly becoming one of the most sought-after wigs among wig wearers. The illusion of hair growing from the scalp is the feature that makes this wig the best in terms of wearing fake hair. These wigs are made with a French or Swiss lace material base. They are made as a faux lace or partial lace frontal with a stitch weft back. Each hair strand is individually stitched into a lace material or ventilated, which creates the natural look of hair at the base. At Insula Wigs, Madame Laurentia Inshura explained to GBC News what it requires to make a wig cap, types, and the number of bundles needed for a full hair.
You need just 2 bundles or 2.5, depending on how volume. What I have on is just 2 bundles.
This is bone straight. Some sell between 3,000 and 4,500 cedis, but with a discount. The price of a wig depends on the inches. These are deep curls or deep wave and ocean wave. A 24-inch wave wig sells at 500 cedis a bundle. Laurentia runs an academy and trains people to master the skill of wig making. She said the quality of hair depends on the band and showed how to care for wig caps.
Let's get yourself any rubber. Fold them neatly. When it's packed, the rubber protects the hair from shrinking.
She said it takes 2 to 3 weeks to complete a frontal. She said COVID-19 came as an opportunity for people to learn how to ventilate their own closure instead of importing from Korea.
I think there's so much opportunities. Frontal is one of them because the international market is badly in need of it. Every woman you see out there either needs a closure or frontal.
On a visit to the Central Business District of Accra, GBC News sampled views from some ladies who say they prefer the wig caps because it is easy to handle. On the other hand, some traders complained of low patronage.
With the wig caps, some they are not that heavy, like the way I open. If you buy the normal ones, the way you want, maybe some one penny say munye juju.
Every Christmas I on she this Christmas I love fun.
Even though hair types are the distinguishing factors in human hair wigs, 4 main types of hair are used in its manufacture: Chinese or Malaysian, Indian or Indonesian, Brazilian and European. Some are also made from fiber. So, whenever you choose to pamper yourself, remember to get a wig fashionable enough to last you some time. Dorothy Ajamai, GBC News, Accra.
You're still watching News Hour live on GBC News and on GTV. We take a breather. Please stay.